Okay, it's time for us to move on to custom post types. I'm making this video quite early in the morning, so apologies if you can hear birds, and even more so, apologies if you can hear my idiot dog chewing on a bone down by my feet. And it's either that or a barking, so went with that. What we're going to need in order to make custom post types is the MetaBox plugin. Like I say, you've already got a version of it. You've got the MetaBox plugin and the MetaBox AIO in your install bundle. Those both need to be installed, and you need to have your license key activated. So again, you need to get your license key before you can get to this bit. For most cases, the basic bundle, which is $49 a year, will be worth it. If you go to personal plan, so it's metabox.io. I'll put the link down below. I'll copy it right now so you can see that I've copied it. But yeah, you're going to need to get your license before this will work. So the $49 a year bundle should be fine. I'd recommend getting the $99 a year just because then you get all the pro extensions, and that can make a big difference to something that we're doing later on, which will be letting people add their own reviews to the website automatically without you needing to add them. Create a form and you can just submit your review. You can only do that with the full pro extension range. If you're not worried about that, if that doesn't sound like something that would be handy, then you could just get the basic bundle. It's $49 a year, and then you're all set to go. So get your MetaBox thing, get your license, install all the licenses on the website. It's pretty easy to do. You just install the plugin. It will say along the top, oh, we need to activate your license. Click that, put your license key in, job's good. Okay, then you will have MetaBox, which is what we've got here. So what we're going to do is use MetaBox to create custom post types, which basically means we will create another section on the left here for each custom post type so that you can directly go to it to edit. So for example, we're going to create one for reviews, which means down here under post, under appearance and plugins and all that, there will be a section here that just says reviews. When we click on that, you'll be able to add a review directly within there, and then anywhere on the website that calls up reviews will call them up from that pool of reviews that you've created, that custom post type of reviews. So it means if you've got a review for Mr. Smith that's all over your website, you don't need to go all over your website to find it and change it. You just go to the review section, find Mr. Smith, and then add that missing full stop or whatever that was from the review. Okay. So very simple. Don't panic. Post types. So we're in MetaBox. We're going to go to MetaBox post types here on the left. Then up here, new post type, click that. Right. If you're getting any kind of errors or anything like that, just make sure that you've got the license keys in and you've got the most up-to-date version of the plugin. If you don't have the most up-to-date version of plugins, you'll see under plugins here that things get highlighted. To say there's an update available, but as things stand, there isn't. Porter, you're really helping with this, thanks. So under MetaBox, post types, new post type. Okay, what we're going to make is one for reviews. Okay, so plural name is reviews. Pretty simple. Okay, singular name, review, and then the slug. So it would go yourwebsitedomain.com / in this case review / Mr. Smith would be if you wanted to directly access it. So the slug is, it sounds horrible, but it's the little bit in the, so I don't know if you can see it up here, but it's this little bit here. So WP admin. So it's website address / slug / information. That's how navigation works on the website. It goes folder to folder to folder to folder, basically. So we're creating a folder of reviews. So plural name is reviews, singular name is review, and slug is review. If we go to labels, nothing there to worry about. Ignore all that. If we go to advanced, we're going to leave all this for the time being for this one. There are things in here that we're going to want to change, but for now, I just want to keep it simple. But there is something in here that I want to show you because it's pretty cool. So under icons, you can select any of these icons to replace the default ones that come up. So for reviews, what I like to do is find something that's got speech marks in it, or there you go, quote. So we'll go with quote on that one. Okay. So that means that when it shows up here, it will have the quote icon and then the word reviews. And for now, like I say, that is it. That's all we're going to do. Okay. And then up here, we're going to click publish. And you will now see the reviews is showing up here as a custom post type. Really simple, right? Click on it and then add new. And then again, it's like the pages that we've edited and everything else. So Mr. Smith, this was a wonderful service and I really enjoyed it. Mr. Smith is done. We're going to publish him and then we'll come back to it because there is more to this. This is a very fundamental level, but now we have Mr. Smith showing up in our reviews. Perfect. That's a good start. On the template that I came up with, under the reviews, you can see here, there's additional information that we need for this. Reviewer location. So my thinking is for the review, you'd have the body of the review, which is that bit, which was, in our case, for Mr. Smith, this was a wonderful service and I really enjoyed it. Good old Mr. Smith. He's a legend. So this would say this was a wonderful service and I really enjoyed it. Reviewer name would be Mr. Smith, but how are we going to add this reviewer location in? Get yourself ready. Brace, because we need a reviewer location as well, don't we? There's nowhere to input it here on the actual custom post site, and that is because we need to create a custom field. So by default, you'll have a heading, you'll have the title, you'll have body copy, and you'll have a place to put an image, featured image. That's by default what you get in every post. For this post, we need a bit more. We need an additional field. So we'll come back to MetaBox. And then the fourth one down at the time of recording is custom fields. Making sense. So we've made our custom post type of reviews, and now we need to give that post type, but just that post type, an additional field. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So here's what we're going to do. Add new. Give it a minute. Now, the title for this would be reviews as well, because these custom fields are just going to be used for the the reviews. All right. If we go into settings, first of all, we need to tell it what post type this one needs applying to. So the location is post type, that's right. And then select here on the right, we'll give you a list of all the post types. Most of them you haven't made, most of them you can't access particularly easily. But review, which we did make, you can click here. And now, that's it. MetaBox knows that anything that we're doing in this moment is for the review section, okay? So click back to fields, and then we can literally add custom fields. There are a lot of options, but the one that we're going to do for this, for now, is just text. Text, okay? So search for a field type, text, basic text, and there we go. We have added an extra text field now to anyone that is adding a review. Click on it, and we can change the name. So if we change the name to review location, you should have spotted that the ID has changed as well. So now it's review underscore location. You can change that if you want to. If you wanted to make that our reviews, for example, you can do. But I would recommend just leave it. Oh, that didn't work. Leave it with whatever comes up by default, because later on we're going to need to find this extra field and add it in on Brooks. So if you know what it's called, it makes life a lot easier. Do we need to worry about anything else? Do we want this? So yeah, there's one or two little things that we're going to check here. Don't need to worry about all of this. Type, label description, default value. Default value, we could put something in. So if we put, for example, default value of online customer. That means every time, once we've launched this custom field, when we did Mr. Smith, this custom field wasn't there. But for every new one that we add, once we've added the custom fields, there will be additional text fields to fill in. And we can set it using this default value thing that anyone coming up for when you're adding the review location, by default, it will just say online customer. But then if you know that that person's from Southend or you're a locally based company, you can change that as you're adding it. It will make sense to me. But the default value for everybody would be online customer. I'm using that as an example. You don't need to do that, but yeah. Is it required? Yes. So we're going to toggle the required one here, because when you go to add a review, you won't be able to press post or publish until you've filled in this box as well, which we will need, because if we don't have it, it will look a bit weird. And all the rest, you can ignore that. Okay. So we're going to click publish now. So what we've done is added a custom field to our custom post type of reviews. Remember? Not as tricky as it sounds with it. So now clicked update. Let it do its thing. Beautiful. Now, if we were to go back to reviews, there's Mr. Smith. And if I click on him now, he will have a location option down here. Reviews, review location. He's an online customer, but I don't want him to be an online customer. I want him to be a regular in our Liverpool branch. Just type over it, see? Save that. And now Mr. Smith has a review location associated with them. If we were to go and add a new one, this is very topical at the moment. Put Iron Man. He's back with a new name to save the world. The guy who played Iron Man died in one of the films, and now they're bringing him back as some other character. That's just happened. That's that current topical affairs at the moment. Review location. So as you can see, we've added Iron Man in. We've added review text for now. And then down in review location, it's still set to online customer, but we're going to delete that to Stoke-on-Trent. There you go, Iron Man, you've had a bit of a downgrade. No offense to anyone from Stoke-on-Trent. Publish those. And now, if we were to look at the back end, we've got Iron Man and Mr. Smith as our reviews. Okay. I know it still doesn't make complete sense because you haven't really seen the power of this and what it can do, but I'm just showing you what custom post types are. We're going to set them all up now, on the basic level. Set up all the custom post types that we need so that when we start building and we see, actually, I need this information in it and this information in it, we can just do that on the fly as we're building. But as long as the framework is in place, as long as we have the reviews custom post type and the policies custom post type ready to go, then jobs are good. Okay. So let's go back and we'll add another one because we've got, can I get this out now? I can't bring it over. I want to just quickly make that a bit smaller. Okay. Bring in my notes, right? So we've added reviews. As you can see, I'm doing it out of order, all kinds of crazy. So reviews custom post type is now on there. And as you can see, it is accessible there, and anywhere on your website that's going to mention a particular review will get pulled through from there, not the page itself. So let's add a new one. MetaBox, post types. We'll do services on this one, okay? So new post type, that plural name, services, singular name, service, slug service. So that's fine. So if you were doing products instead, you could do products, but you wouldn't necessarily do it this way. But this is basically, yeah, like I say, we are creating like-for-like data and putting it in a folder together so it's easy for us to access. Don't need to worry about labels. Advanced on this one, let's change the little logo. So services can be anything you want, really, but let's have it as this building. Yeah, why not? No, clipboard. No, it doesn't matter. We'll stick with the building. Don't overthink this, Michael. Yeah, again, lots of little things we can change, but for the time being, we don't need to worry about those. We are just creating the custom post types. Publish. So now, as you can see over here on the left, we also have a services custom post type. And if we click on it, there's none in there because we haven't added any. all we've done is create the post type, not the posts. All right, tick that one through. Team, let's do that one. So MetaBox, post types, new post type. This is where it gets a little bit funky because team is the same, isn't it? So plural name, team members, do that. Singular name, team member. But I don't want the slug of team member. I just want team. Okay? Because I just want it to be neat. If we're looking up a member of staff, I just want it to be quite tidy. Go to advanced on that. And then there was a chap in a tie. There you go. It could be a lady in a tie. We're going to publish that. So now you go on the left, you've got team members. So I kind of hope it's starting to make a little bit more sense now. Team members is empty because we've put no posts in it, but we've created the custom post type to allow us to put team members in. Dog's going properly mental outside. What next? Policies. Okay. So MetaBox, post type, new post type, blind policies, singular name policy. And this is where you're going to put your privacy policy, your cookie policy, terms and conditions, modern slavery agreement, any kind of policy document you need on your website. You're going to whack them in this custom post type. So you don't then have to go through and find your privacy policy amongst the pages. Not a page, it's a post. And then you can link them directly, and it's all a lot easier. And if you add a new one, the way we'll set it up, it will automatically add them in on the policy pages. Honestly, it's going to change your life. So go for advanced on this, and I think a box file will be good for policies. So click on saving up there, and now where is it? Policies. There you go. It's there. USPs. So if you remember on the sitemap, we had this section where H2 company slogan or rotating quote, key points about the company that you want everyone to know about. We're just going to make a custom post for those so that we can just reference them as we go along. If you can find it, there it is. So policies is now done, and you can tell because it's up there. So I'm going to click, as I'm already in MetaBox, I'm not clicking about. I'm going to click here to add new. Plural name for this is USPs. Singular name is USP. So the slug of USP is perfect. This is what we want. Want to edit the advanced on this because we want to pick a snazzy picture for USPs. Have awards, shall we? Let's make a little bit of a tweak on this one. Go to supports up here. And here you can see all the little bits that it will automatically give you to edit. Now you remember when we did team members, we had the title, which put Mr. Smith. We had the editor, and that's the big white bit of space to put in the review itself. The only other thing active is thumbnail, which is if you want to associate an image with that custom post type. And in most cases you will do. So this is what you get by default. We've not added an image to any of them yet, but the image is there. We just need to go and populate the custom fields, which we've not done. What you can do at this point is turn things on or off. And for example, for our USPs, we're not going to need a thumbnail. We don't need an image for a USP. Or do we actually? We could do that so that the background, no, we're going to, no. You could do, and then you could do it that this background picture changes depending on the USP. Could do it that way, but that's not how I planned it, so I'm not going to. But that's the thing with web design. Once you know how to do everything, if you thought, actually, no, that would be cool, you're going to be able to do that. At the end of it, when you come back and you're doing your one and you think, actually, no, I would like that picture to change, you're going to know how to do it. But we're not doing it here. So title editor, we're going to turn thumbnail off for the time being on this one that we're creating, which is USPs. We don't need an image for the USP, but we also, and this is the proper fun bit, don't need the editor. We don't need the text block. All we need is the title for these, because the title itself is going to be the USP. So for this custom post type of USPs, the only thing that we want to be able to edit is the title itself. So I'm going to publish that, and then we'll go and have a look. So USPs is here now with a little ribbon on it. And it's going to look a little bit different when we press add new. So we'll press add new on here. And as you can see, the only option you've got now is the title, but that's fine. You need to add a USP. So what should we do? With great responsibility comes great power. Why not? And that's all there is. That for the USP, that is it, because it is literally just a line of text. We don't need to attribute it to anybody. We don't need to explain it. It is just, this is one of our company USPs. This is what makes us special. And we publish that. And now if we look under USPs, you will see with great responsibility comes great power. Beautiful. I'm going to tick that one off. FAQs. So MetaBox post types. You're getting the hang of this now. New post type. And we're going to do FAQs. Singular name is FAQ. And the slug of FAQ, I'm going to change that to question. Under labels, leave all that be. That's fine. Under advanced, there is something we're going to change here. This one that says publicly queryable, we're going to turn that off. And what that means is that it's publicly queryable, which is turn the toggle off. And basically you cannot link directly to that FAQ. You'll be able to pull the FAQs up and have them in a page. That's absolutely fine. But you wouldn't be able to send someone a link to just view that FAQ because it won't have one. But that's fine. For services, you would want the link. So if you're speaking to a client, you could say, oh yeah, we do roofing, for example, felt roofing. You would want to be able to go and copy the URL. The URL is the website address. So that's the URL, okay, with the HTTPS and the full link, not just your website, not mywebsite.com, but mywebsite.com/service/flat roofing. You'd be able to want to copy and paste that and send that particular service directly to a client. You're not going to need to do that with an FAQ. All you're going to want is that it's featured on the website. So for the purposes of keeping things tidy, we'll turn off publicly queryable and publish it. We forgot to change the icon on that, didn't we? So by default, you get this little cog. So let's change that because that's rubbish in it. Quite like album. It's got nothing to do with it, but it's snazzy. FAQs, there's some of the hand up. It really doesn't matter. So for the icons, the only person who will ever see them is you or anyone else logged in. So it's basically there as a guide for you. It doesn't, the icon you pick doesn't get displayed on the front end, nothing at all. It is just for your reference when you're looking here. So I use this little chat one. Oh no, this status, that's nice, but that looks like a speech bubble. It's like asking a question. Update that a wee bit. And now you should see FAQ icon change. As it loads, there you go, speech bubble. See, isn't that much nicer? And what have we just done there with the link thing? So under FAQs, we're going to add a new one. And it all works exactly the same way. It's not like everything's changing is scary now. So this is our first question. What is the meaning of life? Go big or go home? There's nothing else to add, so I'm going to publish that. But now, again, you have access to unlimited number of FAQs where you just type them in there like a post type. So if you basically, your FAQs will get built by questions that your customers ask you. So if you always get asked what your opening hours, or you always get asked, can you make that out of metal? Or you always get asked, do you do thatched roofs or whatever? You can create as many FAQs as you want. And then again, they will get pulled into the right bit. And you can even control them and all kinds of things. We will get to all of that. But for now, I'm just trying to give you an understanding of what custom post types are and how you make them. So one last one. We are going to go back to MetaBox post types, and we're going to do locations. Now, this is where it starts to get a bit funkier. 25 minutes in, right? new post type, plural name, locations, singular name, location, slug. We'll go with location. That should be all right. Advanced. So multi-site, that works, isn't it? Obviously, if you've only got one location in your business, if you've only got one office or something, you don't need a locations custom post type. You need to make it now because you're making everything I'm making so that you understand what we're doing. But this one, we're going to go lots of different examples and then you'll understand it. So we have created our custom post type of locations. Is there anything else that we need? Title, editor, thumbnail, that's fine for now. So publish. Okay, step one. We now have locations somewhere. Yep, there with all the little houses, but we want more fields for location. So we're going to go to custom fields. So far, the only custom fields that were created were for the reviews tab. Remember that? But for locations, we're probably going to have to create custom fields for the bulk of these custom post types that we're making. But for now, I'm teaching you what it is and how it works, and then we'll put it into practice in the next videos. In the next section, we will start building with bricks, and then all of this will become clear. We're doing the boring leg framework for now. Not necessarily populating it all, but we're doing the framework. Sorry, I've skipped about a bit. So add new field group. As I said before, my mouse, if you touch it, sometimes it moves forward or back. So we're going to make custom fields for locations, right? And remember how we do this. We go to settings. We want it as a post type, and then we select location from the drop down. And now MetaBox knows that anything that we're about to do is only to be brought up on the locations. You can select multiple. So say you're creating fields of, phone number or name or something. You can reuse those. So you could use those potentially on staff members and reviews or something like that. Or you just create one for each post type. Personally, I do that. If you wanted to make this accessible to, for example, say you're creating a custom field that you're going to use on multiple custom post types, you could select multiple custom post types in here. So this would go to USP and location. You would work like that. And then MetaBox knows that if you're adding a USP or you're adding a location, ask this question. It's basically what it stands for, okay? But we don't want that. We just want location for the time being. So we go to fields. By default, we've got the title and the description and the image. So the image will be the image of the office. The title will be the branch name. The description would be, we've been serving the community since 1984 or whatever. But then what other kind of things you're going to need? You're going to want contact email address. You're going to want a contact phone number. You're going to want an address. Opening hours, potentially. There's all kinds of things that you might want to pull through if someone is looking at a specific location of yours. Who's the manager name? Who's the point of contact? There's lots of different things that once you've understood the power of this, the sky's the limit, really. You could provide as much information as you want to. And my personal feel that for things like this, you can't provide too much information. If somebody's looking for specific details of your branch, the more you show them, the better. But we're going to add a field. I'll do a few different ones. So first of all, email. That branch needs a branch email, okay? We're calling them locations, aren't we? So I'm going to click on here where it says email, location, email. What I like to do is always start it with the name of the custom field. So custom post type, so location, email, and that when you're trying to find it in the back end just makes it easier. So that means now that every time we add a location, we'll also have to add a field for an email address for that location. So that then if we build a contact form on each individual location page or something, we can populate it with the right one. So if you're looking at the Stoke location, it would email to the Stoke branch. Or if you just were looking for the email address of the Stoke branch, it would show up on the relevant bit. Location, email. Next, if we go with, is telephone an option? No. Number. Yeah, we'll go with number. And I'm going to call this telephone. No, low. Sorry. I did Command A to select it, or Control A on Windows computer. to select all the text there. Location, phone, display. Down here under columns, you can see you've got by default 12. I'm going to change this to 6, and I'm going to show you why in a second. So change that to 6, then add another field of number, and then location, phone, link. Make that 6 as well. In terms of columns and things, location email is set to 12. And what that means is if I publish these now, I'm jumping around again, aren't I? I'm going to publish these now, make this full screen. And then if I click locations and add new, you ready for this? Hey, hanging on the edge of your seat. Behold. So now under locations, we've got location can be Norwich. Our Norwich office is really quite fine. If you don't know the history of Norwich, the the city slogan is a fine city. Now, to me, fine suggests mediocre. It's all right. It's fine. Yeah, you look fine. So why they used fine as their word, I don't know. It's fine. Norwich is fine. Down here. So you remember from our test that the custom fields appear at the bottom. The location email would be Norwich at mydomain.com. Info, all right? Location phone number display is how you'd want the number to look. So generally speaking, you want the area code. 603. That. I made a boo-boo. What boo-boo did I make? Well, 603, 123, 456. I want that to be able to put a space in it, and I can't, and I know exactly why. Because I'm pressing the space button here, put a space in, but it's not working. And I know why. So we're going to edit that in a second. Location phone link. Now this, let me explain what I'm doing here. When you are building a website, you'll be able to make it that if you click on this email address, it will automatically try and send an email. So it will open up an email browser, it will open up Outlook or whatever. Similarly, you can do it that if you click on a phone number and on your mobile, it will try and say, do you want to phone this number? To do that, you need to put a bit of code in the link to tell the website, oh, this is a phone number. And then it knows to try and phone it. Similarly, you can get it to try and send you WhatsApp or whatever. We'll come to that. But in order for that to work, the link can't have any spaces in it. So when you write your phone number, generally speaking, you would write it 123 like that. Maybe even with space between those numbers. It's just how we tend to write it. You know, if it's a mobile number, you put 07770 123 That's it. It's just how we write numbers. However, for the link, it would need to be tell I1603 123 Fun, right? You don't have to bother writing tell or anything like that, but we need one of these boxes where you can put the space in, so it will be display link. So that's what it will look like. And then the other one that will be the actual link that it gets phoned out on. So a phone display link doesn't need a space. That's fine. However, we do need to be able to put a space on location phone display, but I know how to fix that. But before we go there, did you see that these two are next to each other, whereas this one is full width? Because this one was 12 columns, and we set these to be 6 columns so that they two relevant bits of information can sit next to each other. Not my first time, my friend. But I'm going to click publish on here. We're going to have to go and change something. Because we want to be able to put a space in phone number display. But I picked the wrong option from the box. So we'll go over to MetaBox. Custom fields. However, what you notice I didn't do was panic and pull my hair out because it was like, oh, easy fix. So go to custom fields because it was one of the custom fields for locations. Click on that. And then let it load. Phone location phone display, that's what we need. When I was picking it, I picked the type of number, because in my head I was thinking, oh yeah, we'll do it properly. Whereas normally I would pick text. So I'm going to click on it, type in text, and then you can change, even ones you've already made, you can change them. So I know that if you click add field, you get to choose what kind of field it is. Even if you've already set it up and created it, you can change the type of field it is. And here you can see the type under this column. So this first one is an email because we've got an email address. This one is a text because we just want text because that's what the phone number is going to look like to users. And this one needs to be number because we want to strip out all the spaces. Update that. So basically, this is telling the website that for the phone location phone display, we'll be able to put anything in there, brackets, spaces, whatever. It's just text. For the number one, we'll only be able to put numbers in, which kind of makes sense and is what you want in a phone number. And for the location email, we'll only be able to put a valid email address in. Let me show you. So now if we update this and go back to locations, there's Norwich. So it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Now, still the information is still there. So you still got Norwich, still quite fine. You still got my Norwich email address there. You've got on the 0 in there, but 01603. Now you can put spaces. So when we reference phone number, that's what it would display as. But the link would be 01603 12345 no spaces. Okay. Save that. Just going to quickly refresh the page because there's something I want to check. I might have been trying to be too clever again. Oh no, it does work. Yeah, the 0 is still there. It looked like it stripped the 0 off. If you're having that issue where when you add them and then check them, it stripped the first 0 off because technically a number doesn't need a 0 at the beginning. So Excel does it. Most number processing things do. I wasn't sure if MetaBox did, and I'm still not sure. But if you find that all the 0s have dropped off, you'd have to change that from a number just to text as well. But we'll find that out together. But that's custom posts. Okay, so we'll create a second location just to show you that all the fields are there. So Atlantis, it's awfully yeah. Location email would be Atlantis at mydomain.com. Phone number, what's the area code for Atlantis? I don't know. 000 12345 whereas this would be yeah 000 12345 there you go. Save phone Atlantis. Now we publish that. And Atlantis now has a custom field and custom post type. So now under our locations, we have 2 branches, Atlantis and Norwich. Under our FAQs, we have 1 for now. This is our first question. Under USPs, we have with great responsibility comes great power. On policies, we haven't created any yet, which is absolutely fine. Under team members, I don't think we've created any yet. Again, for team members, it would be a good thing potentially to have custom field for, you'd have their name, you'd have their bio, you could create a custom field for job title, you could create a custom field for contact phone number, contact email address. The sky is the limit, really. Once you get your head around custom fields, custom post types, that is unlocking the true power of WordPress. I hope that made sense. One more thing we need to do, we've had this message up here all the time, permalinks. Since we got MetaBox running, permalinks is the structure of the link that the website produces. So if you get that message, just click it here. I'll take you to this section in settings, which is permalinks. You want to make sure that you clicked 1, 2, 3, 4, this fifth one down, post name. And basically that is telling it that these are all different options for it to produce your links. Okay, so you can have this HTTP localhost. That is the web address that we've created because we're building it on a computer. It's not a real web address, but that's our website address for the time being. By default, you then get this weird P = 123. or you can get crap number of additional things in there. That's all a mess. We don't want that. We just want post name, because basically what that means is you would go to mywebsite.com/locations, and then it would show you the right location. You don't have to remember archives and 1, 2, 3. So just basically, if you get this screen, you want to select post name, save changes, and then this white thing along the top should disappear once that's saved. There you go, permanent structure updated. Now the website knows. You don't need to worry too much about that, but the website needed you to do that, and you did it. Good on you. That's custom fields. That's custom post types in a nutshell. We will come back. We will finesse them. We will add fields in, all kinds of things. But yeah, that's the power of custom fields and custom post types. And you ain't seen nothing yet, because you haven't even seen them in action, but that's how you set them up. Yeah, the video you just watched is from a complete beginner's course that I've put together teaching people how to build their own WordPress websites for business. If you found that video helpful, if you enjoyed the learning style, the full course is currently available for a lifetime license at shedofdesign.com. So my name is Michael. I'm a full-time professional web designer. I've been doing it for decades. If you have any questions or anything, please pop them in the comments below and I will reply. Thank you and take care.